took me a minute to process it. I was still stuck on Watusi.
Watusi.
I was like, what?
When was the last time you did the Watusi?
I don't know if I've ever done it. Would I know if I did it?
I think so. I think it's one of those things that you know if
like,
you've done it or not.
Then maybe
It's
I
like
have.
skydiving. If you're like, have you ever gone skydiving? And someone goes, then they probably haven't.
Okay, well, then I guess I haven't.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Let me think about it. What's today?
Can
Tuesday?
I Urban Dictionary that to find out
Or
exactly
Watusi?
what it is?
It's a dance.
Oh, well then no, I've never done that. I'm very white over here.
like the Charleston.
No,
Or the
you know I can.
jitterbug.
The only dance that I can do seriously, like actually, well, it's a cha-cha slide because he yells out the directions.
It's a classic. It's a classic.
Yep.
Is that really a dance or just a series of commands?
I think it's either
turns
way.
into-
It's a series of commands with a beat behind
Like
it.
if I tell you, raise your arm, put it down, raise your eyebrows, smell
I
some
can't.
socks.
I can't.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
If it was Simon Says, I'd be out. I can't move my face out
Just
like that.
wait. Well, you just had it, so
Yeah, I
wait
was
about
like,
a
we got a
year.
while. Mhm.
All right. I am Esther.
I'm Rachel.
And I am Mike Wallace, and this is 60 Minutes.
Oh man.
Like,
I feel so under pressure.
well, first off,
What are we
I was
interviewing?
like, I didn't even watch 60 Minutes, and I'm way older than you guys.
Man,
so
60
like,
Minutes
when you
was
pulled
the
out
best.
a
60
boomer,
Minutes?
no,
60 Minutes is really good.
What?
was it? Maybe
Yeah.
I need to go back and revisit it. It always looked so boring to me.
Ed Bradley,
It's
When I
still,
was younger.
It's still going on.
still going. Anderson Cooper's
What?
on
Still
it.
going
People
strong.
are still watching 60
Oh, fuck
Minutes.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's great investigative journalism.
God,
I'm
Rachel.
about to tear it up then. Well, thanks for giving me a new show to binge to sleep to.
It's pretty good. You can. They have some of the stuff on YouTube's.
I'm sure it's streaming under someone's streaming
Yeah.
service.
I'm going to check it out.
You should.
I want to see the best and the worst of 60 Minutes now. I just need a summary.
I'm pretty sure there's some stuff from the 50s that did not age well.
Yeah.
Women working,
Question mark? Like what the fuck?
colors not knowing their place.
Oh,
Hold on. Stop. You're talking about our future at this point. Because
Yeah,
of the
really.
ring. I mean, come on. Like, don't bring up any more.
Welcome back, America. You had a good run. 65, 66, up until like maybe like 2007.
I
Yeah.
think 2007's giving it some. I'd say
Yeah.
like 2004.
You know, you had a good run of not being like this. But welcome back.
Yeah. That's what we do.
That's what we
Sorry.
do.
So this week is Pop Culture Dive.
I like pop culture.
Yeah. And fan theories and fanfic is a big pop culture.
Hold on. That's what we're diving into?
No,
know
not
I
itself.
was getting excited. I was
Maybe
like,
one day.
whoa.
Gonna dive into some fans.
I did want to look into like the Stranger Things. There are some really good fan theories, but I want the second set of the last season to come out first.
I haven't watched the seasons yet.
Oh,
No, I have no time. Oh no,
No, you
I
don't.
watched all the way up until the
Oh,
season
okay.
that was just released. I just
Yeah.
need to watch it. No, my kids all watched it in like the living room, and I was like, "Go away!" Like we were supposed to all watch this together. I'm over them.
Sluts.
Kate Bush's song "Run Up the Hill" is like #1 in the UK again because of Stranger Things.
What song is that? Can you sing it for us?
It's the
I
song
don't
that
know
is
that
super
song.
important to the plot of the season.
Oh shit! Well, you know I don't
'Cause
remember
it's
shit.
Max's favorite
I
song.
don't know. Are we watching the same show?
It's Max's favorite song.
Oh.
It's the song that she has to listen to.
I didn't know what it was though.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
And so now
Only
that
thing I
song
know.
that was originally released in 1985 is back on Billboard's Hot
That's cool.
100.
I think that's what you hope for if
Yeah.
you're like kind of a one-hit wonder, and I'm not assuming that she is, but I'm just gonna
No, Kate
assume.
Bush is for real, for real.
Okay, well, I mean that's cool.
You always want your songs to come back.
Yeah.
Be
Listen.
refreshed.
You make timeless
One-hit
music,
wonders.
it'll come back.
If you want to make a deal, we'll play you on here. Actually, you know what? You need to give us a better deal than that. We actually need another platform. Like we need some fans.
Word.
We can work together.
We can work together for this. But Theon has a really good. He has a lot of really good theories.
Yeah.
But this one is about family matters.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is
I
one,
can't wait to hear this.
this is the one that's not going to make it into the manifesto that you hear on the news.
Whose
Yeah.
manifesto? Yours?
Mine.
Oh.
A lot of my theories kind of play out as you know, if you were reading them and they just came out of a manila envelope, you'd be like, this dude
Is nuts.
was crying for help and we did not listen.
Okay, wait. Did he just correct me right now? Do we need to do something? I mean, we can talk about this afterwards. Or
Okay.
now if you want to. I'm here
So-
for you.
All right. So we all love Family Matters. It's one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. People love it. And it just seems to be like a super banal kind of sitcom that, you know, just cheap laughs and gags.
My
But I
favorite.
think it goes a little farther. And I think it starts with World War II.
What?
Damn.
All right. I need the whole explanation. You said World War II. Okay, so we're taking a sitcom in like the 90s.
Yes.
What didn't it run a little bit in the 2000s?
Yeah, it went 9 seasons.
Okay, so 90ish.
Yeah. No, it started in 1989. So tail end of the 80s.
Okay.
But yeah, that's where we start. We start
Okay.
in World War II.
I'm going to wait for
Snaps.
this one.
So during World War II, there was this thing called the Manhattan Project. Are we familiar with the Manhattan Project?
No.
I need a brief summary.
All right.
It sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
The Manhattan Project was a research and development undertaking during World War II that produced the first nuclear weapons.
Oh, yep.
So
Now it's
super
ringing a bell.
secretive, not really super secretive. I think everybody was just working on nuclear weaponry.
Yeah.
And so the Manhattan Project was North America's attempt at doing it. So the United States and Canada, I don't think Mexico was involved, but the United States and Canada tag team to say, yo, we got to make some nuclear weapons and whatnot. So they gathered all the best minds that they could. And Canada provided a lot of German and Eastern European scientists that sort of defected when shortly before World War II began, and while it was sort of ratcheting up in that part of the world. And so one of those scientists was a Czech scientist named George Plaschek. He was a Czech physicist who was born in Brno, Moravia, which was part of Austria-Hungary, but today is known as the Czech Republic.
Okay.
So this dude comes from Canada, works on the Manhattan Project with all the other scientists. The Manhattan Project was a success because we have nuclear weapons now. So after the end of the Manhattan Project, some of those scientists started working on what else can we do with nuclear energy. And one of those things was the Chicago Pile 1, and that was the world's first artificial nuclear reactor. So on December 2nd, 1942, the first human-made self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction was initiated in CP1 during an experiment led by Enrico Fermi. All right. So Enrico Fermi, super historical nuclear physicist, but who was also working on that project at CP1?
I don't know.
Oh, boy.
George Plaschek.
Yeah,
the Czech,
Plaschek.
the Czech physicist. And the Chicago Pile 1 was named Chicago Pile 1 because it was in Chicago. Yeah.
That was creative.
Right around the late 40s, early 50s, they decided to dismantle Chicago Pile 1 because it was a nuclear reactor in the middle of a metropolis.
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't
like,
seem
that
like
does
the
not seem
smartest
safe.
idea. Do you know how many nuclear plants we have here in Georgia? I
How
actually
many?
know this. Do you want to take a guess?
2.
Yeah, one is not open yet. So it's slated to open or just open, one of the two. And then the other one is an older one, like in the 70s,
Oh, wow.
80s it was built.
That's
So
scary.
everyone
Yeah.
that lives around there is fucked up in some
They
way.
were fucked up.
They are. They're both in the middle. I will tell you exactly what city, and then you can make the determination
Yeah,
yourself.
I mean, there's probably some babies with like 3 eyes and 18 toes. All right. So, legend has it that George Plaschek died in 1995. It's sort of hazy on exactly when he died, how he died, where he died. But Platchek supposedly moved to Switzerland right after the dismantling of CP1. And then he just died mysteriously in 1955. I mean, he was an older man, but no one knows exactly
what he died
what
from.
what he died of. The time of death and all that is a little hazy. All right, so right around the time that the Manhattan Project is working out, CP1 is being built and maintained. There's also a great migration of African Americans leaving the South and moving to northern cities, Midwestern cities, and Western cities. And Chicago attracted slightly more than 500,000 of the approximate 7 million African Americans who left the South during this time. Damn. So like Chicago got a big chunk out of it. And to this day, Chicago is what is known as a chocolate city. It's a majority minority city. Yeah. And part of that is because of the Great Migration that happened. All right. So we're in Chicago. Check physicist, nothing to do. And while he's there, he's seeing that the demographics of Chicago, his second home, is changing. Also, this is a guy who is from an Eastern European country, so he doesn't really get a chance to
so
interact.
He's super uber racist, is what you're saying?
Not even like racist. Like he has no idea.
Right.
Like this is and we have to sort of acknowledge that African Americans, quote unquote, so called, is almost like a brand new race. Like these people don't exist anywhere else in the world, and their circumstances for existing is kind of unique. And now you have an influx of these people who, this is before the Civil Rights Act of 1964, 65. So presumably at some point, the rights are going to be given across the board. You got a giant chunk of people that he knows nothing about. And as a physicist, this totally propels him to think,
blows his mind.
Yo, how can I make this work? Because that's what he does for a living. All right. So let's completely jump to Family Matters.
What? How? All right, you gotta make this connection.
All right, I'm gonna make the connection. So Family Matters is an American television sitcom that aired on ABC September 22nd, 1989. It aired 9 seasons over 2 different networks for a total of 215 episodes.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's legit.
It's a spinoff of Perfect Strangers, one of my favorite shows. And it follows the lives of married couple Harriet and Carl Winslow, their 3 children, Eddie, Laura, Judy, Harriet's sister, Rachel, her infant son, Richie, and Carl's mother, Estelle. And they're just sort of living their life in Chicago. Now, why this gets crazy to me. So all this is happening. All this is going on. So George Platchek understood the changing demographics of his city, and he wanted to closely study modern day African American life. How does he do it?
Yeah, because he can't just roll up.
He can't roll up.
Did he create Family Matters?
So this is the universe that Family Matters exists in. Right?
Okay.
So how does he do it? And this is like the perfect sort of slice to study. You got a middle class husband and wife, teenage African American male, teenage African American females, a single black female with an infant child, and an elderly African American woman. So he has several generations living under one roof that he can study, and he can study the effects of modern day life on this family and get the perspective of each generation and how they react to these various things going on. But he can't directly insert himself into the experiment or really manipulate it in any meaningful way, because this is this Eastern European old elderly white dude,
right?
even if he becomes friendly with the family, the results might be tainted
was gonna
because
say.
they're gonna one
They're
he's a
still be like,
foreigner,
who's this old white guy here?
right? One, he's a foreigner. Two, he is
Super
an
white.
older white guy.
There you go.
And so there's language barriers and cultural barriers that he cannot cross. So what did he do?
He created Family Matters.
No, he created a clone. And that
What?
clone was Stephen Q. Urkel.
Dude, well, that guy's a weirdo. Like,
So Stephen Q. Urkel is perfect. So he can introduce Stephen Q. Urkel to the Winslow family and carry out his experiments through him and record the data.
but how? How can he do that unless he's in charge of the show?
the show,
It's not a show.
It's not a show.
This is the universe.
This is the universe that
Family
the show
Matters
exists
is
in.
real. If Family Matters, Rachel, do you not understand fan theory? Do we not understand fan
All right.
theory?
No.
Were we supposed to explain?
Maybe I'm a
So
moron.
This is Theon has a theory like branching off of Family Matters. Like Family Matters is real life.
right.
Dude,
in
you
that
just
universe.
Facebook explain this to me like I was the old person posting wrong things on Facebook. All right, I'm done. I'm in shame right now.
No.
You're like, Grandma, no.
Grandma.
It's like
Stop
the
doing
fan
that.
theory that Marge Simpson from The Simpsons has rabbit ears under
I
her
really
hair.
like this fan theory. Keep going though,
All right.
because I'm like enhancing it too. I was like,
So-
he wrote himself in.
So George Plachek creates Stephen Q. Urkel. And then let's break down Stephen Q. Urkel.
Please do.
Urkel is not a known surname. Like if you Google the Urkel as a surname, there are very few hits that'll come up. Urkel, on the other hand, is a very popular name of probably the most popular Czech beer in history, and that's Pilsner Urquell.
Oh.
So he gave Steve Urkel his favorite beer's
drink.
last name.
Delicious.
And then Stephen, first name, it's you can find Stephen in the Bible, Saint Stephen. Saint Stephen is one of 7 chosen to assist the apostles. And so Steve Urkel is a clone. And he is one of 7 clones that were created. Stephen Q. Urkel is the 5th. The other 2 clones after Steve is his cousin Myrtle Urkel and his cousin Cornelius Urkel, who look identical to Steve Urkel.
Right.
Now, on the show, they were played by Julia White, so
Of
they have to
course.
look identical. But in this fan universe, they're clones. And so Stephen being 5, Myrtle being 6, and Cornelius
Well,
being
where's
7.
the first 4?
The first 4, that's what we have to figure
Were
out.
they failed experiments?
That's what I'm thinking.
Did he
I'm
off
thinking
them?
he tried to do this before.
And the first 4 didn't
the
work.
first 4 didn't work out. Steven is the first one that actually worked. And there's at the end of an episode, the Winslow family is jumping on a couch. And one says, "Me too." Another one says, "Me 3." Judy says, "Me 4." And Steven says, "Me 5. So he's the 5th of the 7 clones, and we get to meet the other 2. And so George Plachek
Rachel's mind is blown.
is manipulating the Winslow family via Steve Urkel. So Steve Urkel and Steve Urkel is an approximation of what he would think a young African American male would be like. So Steve likes polka. Who likes polka?
Right.
Old Czech dudes love polka.
Yeah.
Steve loves cheese. Most black people are lactose intolerant.
I like
I mean,
cheese.
all black people are lactose
I like
intolerant.
a lot of cheese. It's a
Yeah,
white
but
person
he
thing.
makes cheese
Wait,
Steven's
does
favorite.
Steve woohoo? Because Nate said the other day, woohoos from white women are involuntary. They just slip out sometimes. But the worst part after he says this, guys, so
Did
it's
you
later
say
on.
woohoo?
Yeah, Naomi, and then I was like, well, I did. Okay, so it was Naomi's birthday or whatever, and she was blowing out the cake, and the candles on the cake. And when she was done, I was like, woohoo! And then they all were like, stop. And they got it on video, and it's awful. And then I was like, I don't know why that came out. See, it happens involuntarily. Maybe that's my fan
area
fiction.
to put woohoo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very excited. All right, sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, but I just wondered if he woohooed too, because if it was like a white person thing.
Oh no, but this is like somebody from the Czech Republic. So
so they don't woohoo in the Czech Republic?
I don't think they do. I don't think
Let
they
us
do.
know if you do.
All right. They make a hell of a violin though
They say,
in the Czech Republic. So where is it? We never see Steven's parents. We never see his parents.
Yeah, I always wondered about that.
And that is by
They
design
are
because he
scientists.
doesn't have
Because
parents.
he's a clone, and
yeah,
he's an
he
old
doesn't
white
have
guy
parents.
from the Czech. I'm never going to look at anything the same
And
way.
then Steven, it seems to be a neglected child. Like his parents go off and do things without him. He's always at the Winslow's house.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, I need clones.
Well, but you need a
For
Stephen
kids.
Q. Urkel clone. And
Got
so
it.
that's how he gets to experiment with the entire family. Also, the disappearance of Judy and Rachel are
that was
connected to George Plopchak. Judy and Rachel were no longer necessary in the experiment because there was already a African American teenage girl that Steve had an infatuation with. He didn't want to create any unnecessary rifts because Steven's over there all the time, and the younger teenage girl, one may have a crush on him and taint those results, and two, the second teenage girl might look to him as a brother.
Oh.
So
Or
he didn't want to
another.
get friend zoned?
Yeah, so no. So he
Is that
didn't
what-
want
did I
he
get
didn't
that
want too
right?
much attachment to Steven.
Oh,
As a
because
whole.
he wasn't real.
Right. And with multiple people like infatuated with him, there's a possibility that they would dig deeper into his backstory.
Well, what's with the wedgie then? Like, he gave Steve wedgies all the time. Was that like an inside Czech joke?
Oh, just his
Like,
the way
Steve
he
got
wore.
wedgies all the time, didn't
No,
he?
he
Like,
just
he was
is-
always
nope.
getting strung up by a wedgie.
No, Steve Urkel dresses like what an older Czech man would dress like at that time. With like this, he and his gait and his walk is that of an older person.
This is true.
Yeah, he's
Wearing
wearing
suspenders
and those giant
high-waisted.
glasses. Yeah,
Is there a certain age you have to be before you put on suspenders? Like, you gotta be like solid 60s before you can rock suspenders. And
there's a gap, so you can rock suspenders from 1 to 3,
Like, yeah, they are.
and
so
then
cute,
nothing,
little kids.
and then from 55 up.
Okay, all right. I was just curious.
Unless you're a hipster,
Or Urkel.
Right.
you're just wearing suspenders for nothing.
Yeah, and there's also other. I think you could probably put Myra Munchausen as one of the clones as well, because Myra, again, has an old white person's name.
That's true.
She's
I know one
infatuated.
Myra.
She's
older
infatuated
and
with
white.
Steven, and no one knows why. And like her surname is Munchausen, which is a German surname.
Right.
Yeah.
This
That's wild.
like I'm not like see, look, I'm speechless. I don't know. Like, I'm never gonna look at anything the same way. Now
Yeah.
everything has something other universal about it.
Steve
Fan
Urkel
fiction-y,
is a clone, and the Winslows are involved in a gigantic social experiment.
Yeah, because every time Urkel comes over, something like drastic fucking happens.
Something happens.
Like they could be just chilling on the couch, and then Urkel will come in, and it's just like something crazy.
Look at the episodes before Steve Urkel came. Steve Urkel showed up on episode 12 of the first season. All the episodes prior to that, the Winslows didn't have that many issues.
Yeah.
They were pretty much a pretty chill family. The second he shows up in the episode called Laura's First Date, things drastically change for the Winslow family. they lose a daughter, and like they forget.
They forget about her.
I think that they were kind of given like some sort of like amnesia experimental medicine, because this dude's working with the CIA and all that. If anybody can clear a mind, it's the CIA.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that he just totally got rid of members of the family just to make his experiment run smoother.
But they get rid of members in the family all the. Oh my god!
Little Richie
Wait,
leaves.
hold on. So now that means on like every sitcom where someone's left, I need to read fan fiction and read the
Why did they
conspiracy
disappear?
theory.
Or
Is
why were
someone-
they changed? Like
Right?
Aunt Viv and Fresh Prince?
Exactly, literally, that's the one I was thinking of. That was so weird. Did you like old Aunt Viv or new Aunt Viv better?
Old.
Me too.
Dark skin Aunt Viv forever.
There was like a sassiness about her
You can,
that I feel like light skinned Aunt Viv didn't
no,
catch as
you
well.
would think dark skin Aunt Viv was from Philadelphia. It's like, this
Yes,
is a hard
that's what I was
Philly
gonna
chick.
say. Like, yeah.
Yeah, she's living in Bel Air now, but
But
no,
no, you
she's
could
still-
see that. You could still feel
So
that
she'll whip
Philly
it out.
in there.
she,
Yeah.
she'll cut you if she needs to. No problem.
I
She,
feel like New Viv didn't have that.
she carries a butcher knife and some Vaseline in her purse at all times, just in case.
Did you guys hear that I thought I heard this, that Fresh Prince of Bel Air is coming back?
No,
They're
there's
gonna
a
remake.
there's a reboot. It's going
Or
on right now.
reboot, whatever.
It is right
Yeah.
now. I can watch it now.
If you want to.
Is it bad?
It seems horrible.
It looks.
Did they bring back Jeffrey?
No, it's
He
like
was
it's
the
a
best
completely
character.
different cast.
Oh, I'm gonna check it out so I can see just how.
And now
awful
it's
it is.
more of a drama than it is a comedy.
Yeah, it's very real life.
Yeah, it's like if you combine
Real.
90210 and the Fresh Prince, and that's what you get.
I'm kind of into it now.
I don't
So
want to
for
watch
two
that at
months-
all.
I'm about to binge this. I can't wait.
It's gross.
I hope they aren't annoying though.
How do you disrespect that? I don't know. Will Smith has a history of disrespecting like classic intellectual properties.
People?
He started with the Wild Wild West. I
And then
love
he
the
went-
OG Wild Wild West show.
Dude, I did too. And
That
then
was-
that movie,
it was horrible.
And getting jiggy with it killed it. Like, and what was the Welcome to Miami, con Benito, Miami. Like,
And then the Karate
No.
Kid. Oh, well, how do you
No,
like
I
reboot
couldn't
the
do
Karate?
it.
You don't.
you don't. You
It's-
know how you reboot it in Cobra Kai.
No, the Cobra Kai is also horrible.
What?
Cobra Kai is horrible.
I'm gonna flip this fucking table. Cobra Kai is amazing.
I don't consider Cobra Kai part of the canon.
It's probably because it's really white.
Nah, it's probably it's because it's shitty. But
No.
you know, like the original 3 movies are all that exist.
Legit.
The next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank, I don't even consider canon.
Danielson came back on Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
And I really like him.
I think that's like an alternate universe that didn't really happen.
I prefer it.
Yeah.
I'm Danny. It's awful.
I like this.
But yeah, you should go back and watch all the Family Matters episodes under the lens of Steve being a
I
clone
am going to
and a
do
social
that.
For
experiment.
social experiment.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that, and then like, thank you for opening my eyes about like this whole alternate. Like my mind literally, like Esther looked at me at one point and started laughing because
Just
I'm like, wait, what?
Eyes wide
Suddenly
open.
I've got nothing to do but look at fan fiction.
And during every major event of the Winslow family, Urkel is present.
Always.
Yeah, always. When Laura gets harassed at school by some racists, Steve is there. When Rachel's place gets trashed by the dragons,
Dude,
Steve
that
is
shit was
there.
crazy. That episode was wild. I had no words for that one.
Every time something major happens to the family, Steve is present. And I think Steve is the cause. Steve secretly causes all of the
Wait.
problems of the Winslow family. I don't think he's aware of it because he's a
Right.
clone.
Right.
And he's just doing what he's told. Maybe he is on a subconscious level.
Nothing. I just said it feels a little like personal because now you're like dropping knowledge that's not knowledge, and then you were like, every time there's drama, Steve's around, and I thought, wait, hold on, I could be Steve. Wait,
I mean,
someone fan fictioning my life? Stop
we've all
it.
we've all been Steve at one point or another. You either build or you destroy.
This was really eye opening.
Yeah.
I learned everything new tonight.
All the new
Everything.
things.
Yeah.
I like this fan theory because Theon talked about it. Oh man, we started this
Yeah, this
You
is
started
almost
this
a
a
year
while
ago.
Can we
ago.
add? I love our Theory Tuesday because you do amazing research in it. But can we add
You wanna?
theories
wild, crazy
in
theories?
too occasionally?
Of course.
I just
I
have to go
have a
through
few too.
my
but-
manifesto and see which one is appropriate.
I don't feel like you probably should say manifesto. I might edit that out. Like I feel like that's one of those words that's gonna get us flagged with it. Like what is it?
You say
Homeland
manifesto.
Security. I don't think you do. I don't think you say manifesto. FYI, Rachel didn't say it. Just saying. Like
Rachel totally said it. It's her
no,
manifesto.
what? I mean, listen, guys. Let's just say if I did have a manifesto, I like wouldn't tell anyone about it until I needed it.
Whatever, you tell everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be the most publicly
Well, now I'm
read
gonna get
manifesto
one,
ever.
Esther. I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna run and tell everybody.
She tried to
Tell
turn it
that.
into a bumper sticker so people could read it while they're behind it.
Right. You're like,
Manifesto.
I'm done with y'all. But you're right.
let us know what you think about this fan theory.
Yeah.
Steve Urkel,
Being a
definitely
clone.
I think so. I mean, how did he always have money for experiments? and
Always
shit
had money
like
for
that?
experiments. Steven is like
His parents paid him because they were never around.
he's like ridiculously smart. Like he comes up with stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And like, it's like how is he doing this?
It
But
seems-
he doesn't graduate early.
Yeah, that's what I was about
He
to say.
stays
Like,
in school. He makes sure that he's in classes with Laura Winslow. Like anybody with a shadow of his intellect would have been in college when they were 7 years old.
Exactly.
Here, I have a question though. Looking at it now from the Me Too perspective, like I've got 2 daughters, and if there was this nerdy ass kid that like would not leave them alone, like that might be an issue for me.
Yeah, he came
At
on
some
pretty
point.
strong.
I
I mean,
mean,
he was
like,
always
some of it,
respectful
yeah.
about it though.
I mean, he was respectful, but it also was that uncomfortable. Like, dude, she's told you how many times? Like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
But also, Laura Winslow is fucking trash because she
Okay.
didn't start liking
That's how you
Steven
really feel.
until
Till
Myra
he got the
Munchausen.
makeover or whatever, too, or the cousin.
well, like
No,
until
he
Myra
liked-
Munchausen decided that she liked him, a girl that's smarter and prettier than she is, and then in order for her to even consider Steve Urkel, he had to change his fucking
He had to be
DNA.
Stefano.
He had to change everything
that
that
was
made him
weird.
him
Yeah.
to gain her heart.
And so that in itself is a whole lesson in itself. Man, we can't, like,
And also the biggest
it's
lesson
not
of
love.
all.
You gotta do all, like, change exactly
Yeah.
who you are.
And then the biggest lesson for every young man ever: never chase women. It is the worst thing that you could possibly do. Women either run from it or they run to it, and you can't chase women. Like it does horrible things. The biggest thing, if you actually get them. Now it's you want reciprocity. Like it's time reciprocity. So now you want her to love you the same way that you loved her for all those years, and that's not how love works.
No.
Nope.
And it's
Exactly.
people think that they're like sort of putting like love into a bank, and at some point they're going to get a return on their investment,
Right.
Not in
either
today's
equal or
economy.
greater. Yeah, and it's like
Shit,
no.
you lost all your love.
If
Like, you
Laura,
might be negative love.
yeah, it
anger.
love's more like cryptocurrency than
Or
the
in a
stocks and bonds.
manifesto. Is that what it looks
Yeah,
like?
maybe.
Oh, man,
Okay.
that's
It's a love manifesto. So don't chase women, don't clone kids.
legit.
I mean, I'm fine with the don't chase women.
You can't chase women. Don't chase women.
I was okay with the clone kids.
It's
Would
the wor-
clone
it's the
kids
worst
listen
thing.
better? Can I just like actively destruct them if they don't listen?
I mean, it is a sentient life form.
Okay, I'm
That's
gonna need you to cut all that out. All right.
go to jail for
Anyway,
that.
cheesing.
She's not.
Maybe.
But yeah, thank you, Theon, for sharing.
Yeah, I like that one.
Thank you for letting me babble on about nonsense.
Babbling.
It's not. My mind was blown. I was listening. I'm processing still though.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Share with us your fan theories. We'll read. We'll do a whole podcast on that.
Yeah,
I would love
I'll
to
do it.
read what you guys think.
Love to.
Me
Or
too.
even if you thought Steve Urkel was a clone, let us know. Let us know how far, how deep.
Same thing. I just knew it in my heart and soul.
Right? It's like, damn it.
What if
It
Ghost
answers so
Stefano
much.
is the upgraded version of like Clone 2?
Oh.
The remake.
Remix. Why was it so easy for Steve to like change his entire DNA?
Because it
he's a
wasn't
clone.
him.
Yeah, and it was already
It was
sequenced
another
and
clone.
ready to
It
go.
was another clone.
He already like the hard work had already been done. He just had to just had to change it around a little bit.
Damn.
Yeah.
So next week will be Respectfully No.
No.
Let us know if you want us to argue about something too.
Yeah.
Whether or not Laura Winslow is trash. Spoiler alert, she is.
Okay, that's not an argument that if we both agree.
All right. So we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.